Sharon. I think when we don't feel good, it's easy to get the blues. It's really easy to get down whenever we're sick and to begin to tell ourselves a story about everything that's ever gone wrong. It's not just a bad day. It's, well, I had the sinus all through December, and then I got that stomach virus from Hades. And then right at the end of the yoga workshop, I got sick again. Hi, so good to see you. I love you. But when we don't feel good, I just made notes, and I'm really kind of out of it on Benadryl. But we tell stories to ourselves. Our mind will come through with these strange little stories about, like, well, I've got this terrible illness and I haven't felt good in a long time, and some of it stems back to the hepatitis C or to hepatitis or my liver disease, and I can't take things like other people can take, and we can end up in a pity party real quickly, and we become depressed because we get brain foggy easier if we've had hepatic encephalopathy, and everything takes longer whenever we've been sick with liver disease. And then if we have any type of an illness on top of it, it can even take longer. Well, do we count on being and feeling happy all the time? I don't think so. I think that that's kind of fake. Now I'm sitting here smiling because I know that underneath this layer, because it's like a layer, like a cloud that hangs over us, that's part of our story. We've had a story from our past that we've dealt with liver disease, and that liver disease may have led to other health problems, like comorbid conditions. So some people have gotten sugar imbalances and have, like a diabetes type problem, where they might have gotten heart disease or hepatic encephalopathy or brain fog. There's a lot of things that can go with having liver disease. It can really make your immune system awful. It can create problems with your stomach. And so we've got this cloud hanging over us. It's not just a cold. It's not just a stomach ache, even a stomach ache. Maybe you get a stomach ache and it reminds you, it'll bring on a trigger of another story of when you were really sick with hepatitis C. And all these stories kind of float around like in a cloud around us, and they can weigh us down. Some of my story has to do with varices bleeds. And all the feelings will come back to us. The negative feelings will overwhelm us. It's been a hard life. I love you. It has been a hard life, and it's still hard. How do you manage to look so good when you're sick? Well, honey, I've got this little thing. If I get up close, oh, girl, I've got this little thing, and I just dab it over all the blotches and the dark circles. Without makeup, I looked pretty rough today. Thank you for that. I've got that. I think I'm just going to do a live foot massage because, oh my gosh, I learned all this stuff at yoga school, so I love to go learn all this. And I took a picture. We've got to take care of our fascia body. We've got to take care of this layer that's right underneath our skin that's holding us together. And there are ways to keep our body open. Let me show you these pictures. Can you see that? Okay. Can you see that? So I'm saving pictures on my phone, and then I'm giving myself foot massages. It's part of my yoga class that I do, but we can actually touch certain parts of our body, and you can help your body to feel better after a foot massage. Diabetes. And this will get better. That's a good mantra. This will get better. So I do a thing where I say, perfect health, healing now. Perfect health, healing now. And it sounds like a ridiculous thing to do. But we've got to accept that this is what it is. Because, if I get into a thing like, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be okay. Well, then you're almost lying to yourself. Because sometimes it's not going to be okay, and you need to go get medical attention. I know Rick Yeager's going through a thing right now, and his right leg's swollen. Everybody on the internet can see it, but the nurse in ER wouldn't listen to him. If he just sat home and said it's going to be okay, he might have I don't know what, cellulitis, or who knows what it is. That's part of the acceptance. But, all right, so I believe that we can live under a little bubble. And some people, I've been accused of living in La La Land my whole life. And if anybody remembers the Haley Mills story, Pollyanna, because I can be a real Pollyanna, but I do accept what's going on in my life. And I say, you know what, something's not right here, and we need to look at it. But then when it's compounded, and when we see other people getting up and going out and doing things, I really want to go bicycle riding so bad right now. And I can't because my left leg's hurting. It's really bothering me. I couldn't go hiking very much when we were in New Mexico. And that troubles me. And I can tell myself a sad story about that. And I have a prism hanging over here. I do. I love prisms. And I do look at the world through rainbow shaded glasses. But how about instead of being happy, what if we choose joy? And that's kind of a thing that I've done, is I just say, I'm going to be joyful. I can find a place of joy in the midst of anything. I will find a place of joy. So happiness is kind of a state of being where you just wake up, you're happy. Oh, look, everything's happy around me. Well, if it's not happy around me, deep inside, I have a well of joy. Now, that's an old song that I sang at Vacation Bible School when I was a kid, and maybe that's why it's easier for me. I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? And it's just a little thing that I learned to do when I was a kid. And I've got a place in my head where I can find joy. Now, you get depressed and you want your life back. You want to go to the beach. You want to get out. But see there, you think about doing something fun and then you're like, but I can't because of this, and I can't because of that, and then my foot hurts, and then my head hurts, and then I've got a cold again, and I get every cold that goes by because I'm immune suppressed, and blah, 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 blah. And we can get all yakety yak about it. But I do find a place where I can go in my head where I find joy. And what I wrote down was, I wrote that sometimes there's a disturbance in that force field that's around us, and I don't like it. And so something will rumble around outside in my life. It'll say, like if I don't feel very good, I'll think, well, like I've got my granddaughter's prom dress right now that I'm going to hem for her. And it's like, okay, I hope I do a good job. I used to be a really good seamstress, but right now my hands shake sometimes because of program. I could get sad over that. Last night I was like all worried about hemming that dress and getting it done right. No, take your time. Just do it. You've got the time. Excuse me if I'm going to cough. I just chugged some more. I just got this yesterday. That's so rude. I probably ought to go to the bathroom. Literally, like I'm on my third box of Kleenex. And we can have the joy deep down inside. If something disturbs our force field, then what we have to do is accept it for what it is. I don't feel good. Sometimes I shake when I'm sewing. And don't write a story about that, if that makes sense. Don't write a story about that in your head. That don't become a victim of your circumstances and just say, oh, poor me. Don't let that be the way that you get your attention in life. Don't let that be the way that you get your needs met. Even with your doctor, there's a temptation. You know I've done it. Whenever I didn't feel good, I'd go in and I'd be like, I get myself all worked up so I'd be sure he'd hear me. Well, what if we don't have to get worked up to get our needs met? What if we can just say, you know what? I don't feel good. This is what's going on in my life. This is going to take me a little longer. I might not be as joyful right now as I could be, but I'm alive and I'm breathing and I'm walking and I'm happy to have these people in my life. And so in spite of the cold, the cellulitis, the stroke, if there's a disturbance in my force field, and if it's a physical disturbance in my force field that comes from an illness that's worse or compounded by or part of my liver ailment, then I've got to stop in the moment and say, you know what, right now, I don't feel good. That little pile that I took a picture of earlier on the couch, it's still just like it is, and it's going to be that way for a few more days. A lot of it has to do with just keeping your body moving. And I think if we get up and move, it will release endorphins that make it easier to choose joy in the midst of that. There are times, and this is where I'm getting a little worked up, Mindy. I'm getting a little worked up, Margaret, because whenever we have to lay horizontal too much, it affects our body chemistry. And then, like for me, I went yesterday, I bought me a big old fat cinnamon roll. I took cookies to the grandkids when I went to do the prom dress thing. And then I got me a big old fat cinnamon roll, and I've been eating on it all morning, just little bites at a time with my coffee. But sugar will make my bones hurt more, and I know that. It'll also get me a little jacked up, makes me feel good for a minute. I don't go too far because the come down's really hard. If you've got liver disease, the come down off sugar's super hard. So what are we going to do? Cheers to the coffee. Yes. Cheers. This is my heavily meditated. Meditation is a big key. So last week in Santa Fe, part of yoga is that meditation that we do. And I just do centering meditation. I just get quiet. I mean, and if you've listened to my SoundCloud, you know exactly what kind of things I affirm myself with. I also spend a lot of time in silence where I just get alone. One of the things I do when I do my breathing is I just take deep breaths in, make space, just create space to be sick, create space for my liver, create space for any scar tissue that's in my body. Create space for my bones and my immune system that suffer from the medications that I have taken and continue to take. Just create space for that to be part of who I am. Don't make an ugly story about it. I'm a girl who had liver disease. I'm a girl who had hepatitis C. I'm a girl who had long-term liver inflammation. I'm a girl who took some really strong drugs to save her own life. That's who I am. And then just accept that. I can still enjoy and create a sense of peace and safety for myself. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to be sick in front of the people I love. I try to get up and fake it, and it's hard. It's just hard. I do want to do a retreat, and I found a place. It's like $70 a night for people to come stay, and the meals would only be $50 a day. They'd all be provided. We wouldn't have to lift a finger and just spend some time together. I've got some wonderful healing rituals, and I have got enough yoga equipment to do a restorative retreat. And I'm really enjoying, I practice a lot on my friends, and I'm really enjoying helping people to feel better and get their body, keep their spine straight and tall, and how to balance out their body, the right side of their body and the left side of their body. And so when you're sick and you want to just lay down and sleep. Sleep if you need to. Drink when you're thirsty. Rest when you're tired. Eat when you're hungry. And then get up and go in the opposite direction. And always tell yourself the truth. I don't feel good right now, but I do enjoy, when I feel good, I enjoy getting up and moving around and going for a walk. I can go for a walk later today. Right now I need to be in bed, but I can go for a walk. I can heal. I can heal those bones. I can heal that hip. I can heal my shoulder. And just tell yourself, I can. So one of my mantras is, I can. I am. I start sentences this way. I think I wrote a blog about that a few years ago. I can, I am, I will, I choose, I enjoy, and I create. I create a space for me to heal in the midst of my illness. I create a space for my body to feel good. I had to learn new habits of how to move after the hepatitis C treatment. And I have. It's not easy to live with Prograf, but every day I'm getting better and better. So when we don't feel good and when we're compounded and we're just going around, I'm sorry, I got like a snotty nose. But when we don't feel good and we don't feel happy, we can keep from telling ourselves, we can tell the truth, but keep from telling yourself a story of victimization. And instead just say, right now, I'm going to choose joy. And I'm going to choose to find the best possible thing about this moment and dwell on it. I'm going to dwell on all the right things that are happening in my body. The thing is we create memories with our body. Our muscles and our fascia holds memories. And what we have to do is move in ways that's going to open our body up and make new memories in our body. I love you with all my heart. So lifting your heart to your thumbs and taking a deep breath in. Remember, you're a spirit and you have a mind and you live in a body, but I'm not this body. I am so much more than this body. This body is what carries me around on the planet, but I'm not this body. I'm not this mind. I'm something eternal, something greater, and something that can always find joy. My body might feel tired or sick. My mind might have a depressed thought or story. My spirit can always find joy. And I invite you guys to find joy with me. I'll see you next time. And I love you with all my heart.